Hello and welcome to Budgetopia, your guide to financial wellness. Our journey today takes us to the realm of budgeting, an essential tool in managing your finances effectively. Picture this, a simple, practical method that breaks down your income into 3 distinct categories, helping you balance your needs, wants, and savings. This is what we call the 50-30-20 rule. It's a budgeting strategy that simplifies the way you handle your money. It's about allocating 50% of your income to your needs, 30% to your wants, and the remaining 20% to savings or debt repayment. Sounds simple, right? That's the beauty of it. The 50-30-20 rule doesn't require you to be a finance guru. It's all about understanding how to distribute your income wisely and effectively. Stay tuned as we delve into the 50-30-20 rule, a simple and effective budgeting method. The 50-30-20 rule breaks down your budget into 3 easy-to-understand categories. This rule, coined by Elizabeth Warren, a U.S. senator and personal finance expert, simplifies money management by dividing your after-tax income into 3 distinct parts: needs, wants, and savings or debt repayment. Let's start with the first category, needs. These are the essentials, the non-negotiables that you can't live without. They consume 50% of your income. This category includes your housing, whether it's rent or mortgage payments, utilities like electricity and water, groceries to keep you nourished, transportation costs to get you from point A to B, and insurance to protect you from unforeseen circumstances. Next, we have wants. These are non-essential expenses, the extra things you enjoy but can live without. They take up 30% of your budget. This could be dining out at your favorite restaurant, tickets to a concert, your Netflix subscription, or that new pair of shoes you've been eyeing. It's what makes life enjoyable, but remember, these are extras, not essentials. Lastly, we have the savings or debt repayment category. This is where 20% of your income goes. It's about preparing for the future and paying off the past. This includes setting aside money for an emergency fund, saving for retirement, or paying off debt. This part of the budget is all about ensuring your financial stability and securing your future. So to summarize, the 50-30-20 rule is a budgeting method where 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% to wants, and the remaining 20% to savings or debt repayment. It's a balance between living in the present, preparing for the future, and enjoying the fruits of your labor without going overboard. With this rule, you have a clear guideline of where your money should go. It's not about depriving yourself, but about making informed and conscious decisions about your money. It's about financial wellness, not just for today, but for the long haul. Now that we understand the rule, let's look at how to put it into practice. The first step in applying the 50-30-20 rule to your finances is to calculate your after-tax income. This is the amount you bring home after all deductions such as taxes, Social Security, and health insurance are taken out. This becomes the base from which you'll allocate funds to your needs, wants, and savings. Once you know your after-tax income, the next step is to categorize your expenses into needs, wants, and savings or debt repayment. Needs are the essentials. Things like rent or mortgage payments, utility bills, groceries, and transportation costs. Wants, on the other hand, are non-essential expenses. Things like dining out, entertainment, and hobbies. The final category, savings or debt repayment, is the money you set aside for the future or to pay down debt. Now, here's where the magic happens. Allocate 50% of your income to your needs, 30% to your wants, and the remaining 20% to savings or debt repayment. This might be a bit tricky at first, but remember, this is a guideline, not a hard rule. Your percentages might vary slightly based on your personal circumstances. Once you've allocated your income, the next step is to adjust and track your spending to stay within these percentages. This might mean cutting back on wants if they're eating into your needs or savings. It might also mean finding ways to increase your income if you're struggling to meet your needs with 50% of your income. Remember, the 50-30-20 rule is flexible. It's meant to give you a clear picture of where your money is going and help you make informed decisions about your spending. It's not meant to restrict you, but rather to empower you to take control of your finances. And there you have it. Your budget is set up and ready to guide you. With the 50-30-20 rule, you're well on your way to achieving financial wellness and stability. So go ahead and give it a try and see the difference it makes in your financial life. Sticking to a budget can be challenging, but these tips can help. One of the most common hurdles people face when implementing the 50-30-20 rule is differentiating between needs and wants. It's essential to remember that needs are expenses that are crucial for your survival and overall well-being, like housing, groceries, and health insurance. On the other hand, wants are expenses that are nice to have but not necessary, like dining out, entertainment, or that fancy new gadget. Now, this might sound simple on paper, but it can be a bit tricky in practice. Here's a tip. When you're unsure where an expense falls, ask yourself, can I live without this? If the answer is yes, then it's probably a want, not a need. Another roadblock can be unexpected expenses. Your car breaks down or you need a sudden medical procedure, and your carefully planned budget goes out the window. One way to tackle this is by building an emergency fund, which we've allocated 20% of your income for. This fund serves as a financial safety net, covering these unforeseen costs without disrupting your budget. Sticking to the 50-30-20 rule also involves regular tracking and adjustment of your expenses. It's a good idea to review your budget monthly to accommodate changes in income or expenses. For example, if you get a raise or pay off a debt, you'll need to distribute the extra money accordingly. And let's not forget the power of technology. There are numerous budgeting apps and spreadsheets available that can make tracking your expenses a breeze. Using these tools, you can easily see if you're overspending in one category and need to cut back. Lastly, setting up automatic transfers to your savings accounts can ensure that you're consistently hitting that 20% savings goal. This way, you're prioritizing your future self without even thinking about it. Remember, consistency is key when it comes to budgeting. It might take some time to adjust, but with these tips and strategies, you'll be well on your way to financial wellness. The 50-30-20 rule is flexible and can be adjusted to fit different financial situations. While this rule provides a solid foundation for budgeting, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Your unique financial situation may necessitate a different approach, and that's okay. For example, if your essential expenses are higher, maybe due to a larger family or living in a high cost of living area, you might find a 60-20-20 rule more suitable. This allocates 60% of your income to needs, 20% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. Alternatively, if you're in a position where you want to aggressively pay down debt or ramp up your savings, you might consider a 70-20-10 rule. Here, 70% of your income goes towards needs, 20% towards wants, and 10% towards savings and debt repayment. Remember, the key here is flexibility and adaptability. Feel free to experiment and find a ratio that works best for you. Now, let's switch gears a bit to engagement. We know that budgeting isn't always easy, and it can be incredibly helpful to share experiences and learn from others who are on the same journey. So we encourage you to share your own experiences with budgeting in the comments section. Tell us about your successes, your challenges, and the strategies you found most effective. And here's a fun idea. How about a budgeting challenge? For the next month, try implementing the 50-30-20 rule, or a variation that suits you better. Keep track of your progress, note down any hurdles you encounter, and at the end of the month, come back and share your results with us. Let's create a supportive community where we can all learn and grow together. Remember, the goal of budgeting isn't just about numbers or percentages. It's about building a healthier relationship with your money, gaining financial security, and ultimately achieving your financial goals. We're excited to hear about your budgeting journey. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We dove deep into the world of budgeting with the 50-30-20 rule, a simple and effective method for managing your finances. Remember, this rule allocates 50% of your after-tax income for essential needs, 30% for wants, and the remaining 20% for savings and debt repayment. We've also shared practical steps on implementing this rule, from calculating your income to categorizing and tracking your expenses. We've seen how this rule is flexible enough to fit different financial scenarios and lifestyles. Additionally, we've shared some tips and strategies to help you stay on track, including the use of budgeting tools and regular reviews of your budget. We've addressed common challenges and offered solutions to overcome them. Above all, we've emphasized the importance of the 20% allocated for savings, a crucial element in building an emergency fund and securing your financial future. With the 50-30-20 rule, you're well on your way to achieving financial freedom. Before we wrap up, remember, if you found this video beneficial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We'd love for you to be part of our Budgetopia community, so hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll always be the first to know when we drop new content. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. we have plenty more practical financial strategies to share. Thank you for joining us today on Budgetopia. Remember, your journey to financial freedom starts with a plan.